resource and its types with soil erosion and conservation method, presented by Deepance Khatri. A resource is a source or supply from which benefit is produced. Typically resources or materials, energy, services, staff, knowledge, or other assets that are transformed to produce benefit and in the process may be consumed or made unavailable. Now the question arises, what is a resource? Everything available in our environment and which satisfy our needs. It should be technologically accessible, culturally acceptable and economically feasible as a resource. Resources can be classified on the basis of their origin, exhaustibility, ownership and the status of development. On the basis of origin there are two types of resources, biotic resource and abiotic resource. Biotic resources are obtained from biosphere and have life such as human beings, flora and fauna, fisheries, livestock, etc. Abiotic resources are composed of non-living things, e.g., rocks and metals. On the basis of exhaustibility there are two types of resources, renewable and non-renewable resource. Renewable resources, or renewable or replenishable resources, which can be renewed, or reproduced by physical, chemical or mechanical processes, e.g., solar and wind energy, water, forests and wildlife, etc. Non-renewable resources are formed over a substantially long geological time, e.g., minerals and fossil fuel. On the basis of ownership there are four types of resources: individual, community. Individual resources are resources that are owned privately by individuals. Community resources are resources accessible to all the members of a community. National resources are all the resources that belong to a nation. The term territorial water refers to the oceanic area UPTO 12 nautical miles (19.2 kilometers) from the coast. On the basis of the status of development potential, developed, stock and reserve resources. Potential resources are resources found in a region which have not been utilized. Developed resources are resources that have been surveyed and determined for utilization both qualitatively and quantitatively. The development of resources depends on technology and level of their feed. Stock refers to materials in the environment which have the potential to satisfy human needs, but human beings do not have the appropriate technology to access these. Reserves are the subset of the stock, which are yet to be put into use with the help of existing technical know-how. These can be used for meeting future requirements. Development of resources. It is the process of developing the resources in order to make them useful for satisfying human wants. Some resources cannot be used directly, they have to be processed to make them useful for satisfying our wants. Land has to be cleared and plowed for growing crops. Water has to be taken to the field to irrigate. planned use of resource in order to meet the present needs and to store a part for the future generation, is called resource conservation. It is necessary because 1. Many resources are non-renewable and exhaustible. If we conserve them, we can use them for a longer period of time. 2. Conservation of resources helps us to reduce wastage. It will help in economic progress. 3. Resource conservation helps us to protect the environment. Some ideas of Mahatma Gandhi about the conservation of resources are below. The uppermost layer of the Earth's crust, which is loose, broken and useful for plants, is called soil. Soil develops as a result of interplay of 5 factors: parent material, climate, organisms, relief and time. Soil are our prime resources. Removal of topsoil from one place to another by natural agencies is called soil erosion. The rainwater, when moves down on an uneven land, scoops away this soil and form deep channels. Sometimes water flows as a sheet over large areas. Down a slope, the water takes away the topsoil. This type of erosion is called sheet erosion. Soil can be conserved by using therefore methods: contour, plowing, terrace farming, strip cropping, and by planting shelter belts.